school. And that's her brother. That's the Texas kid.
Oh,
Yep, I'm doing it now.
Yeah, you're getting my big butt in the picture, aren't you?
Well, you
Yeah,
gotta stick up there.
Everything in there. Oh, okay.
Jim, I'm trying to warn you about her.
oh no, that's no,
She
that's
just
quite
acts silly all
alright.
the time.
Oh, that's
Y'all look good.
that's
Y'all
very
look good on. Y'all look good on
I'd
television.
rather be silly as to be mad all the time.
Absolutely.
Boy, isn't that the
I
truth?
guess much
Yeah,
better
put up
that
with that.
way.
I put up with that for 50
Much better.
We
years.
laugh all the time.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
looked
What?
familiar to
You
me,
don't want to
that's
sit
what I was
around
thinking.
looking
I couldn't place it though, but you're
like
right.
Mad.
that gloomy or
I imagine Bud,
Really?
he'll probably want to make some
It's
pictures
good,
too.
Good part of
I
life.
think I've shocked him more than anybody.
No, you didn't know.
My ex-husband has a cousin, excuse me, who used to be the sheriff in the town where we live. And I've been sitting here trying to figure out who you look familiar to me, and you look like him.
Oh, I look like a sheriff.
A sheriff?
Chubb Connor. His name's
Oh.
Charles Connor.
He's a mailman.
Yeah.
Well, that's close to sheriff, isn't it?
Brings all them
Deliver the
bills.
bills.
Make everybody's day.
How many times you been bit?
You know, I've only been bit 3 times in 20 years.
You're
Well,
lucky.
that's
Bad,
not a
I
bad.
just have to
My
go
wife,
and then
really,
lick
you
you.
know.
He's the one that
Jaxie
used to
would
go in and
bark
have
and
to
bark
read
and bark and
meters,
then
and dogs got after
Oh,
him
yeah.
too.
Oh, they hated
I
me.
remember it's
How would
only
you pick
3
up Christian
times
Mark
that
the
I've
other
been
day?
bit.
And he was walking
Every
across the
time they
street,
saw me, they
and
showed their
Jaxie
teeth real big.
They sure will.
But he said if you run, if you go towards him, you can scare him off.
Oh,
Yeah,
goodness.
that's
was not
right.
gonna let
You
anybody get
can
near you that you
almost,
didn't know.
unless it's a
I've never
trained
seen nobody
dog
act like that.
or something. But you sure can. You can bluff them off.
If you'll
Yeah.
run
If
towards
you'll
the
run
dog,
towards them,
Yeah, don't ever run from one, boy.
don't ever run from one.
they will
stick
get
your
you.
bag out in front
bite
of them where
you
they
now.
can eat up the mail.
I mean, that's what I do now. Pit bulls.
Particularly
yeah.
my bills first.
They say them old finance
these
company
taste better
bills
than
chokes them
the
pretty good.
Yeah. A
This
pit bull, now,
speeding
it's hard
or
to
light ticket
bluff
I got in
them
the
off.
mail tastes just
A pit
like
bull? Oh
chicken
yeah.
and lamb.
They're so determined, you know, till you just have to protect yourself.
You ever heard a story about the turtle? Once they get a hold of you, they won't let loose. They
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
clamp down, and
Mm,
kind of the way a bulldog is, I
that's
think.
right.
We
Yeah,
used to have a
They'll go through your
husky.
throat.
that's right. They
the
sure
other-
will.
They're killer.
Dangerous,
They're
yeah.
killer dogs, I think. That's what I'd call them.
We used to have a husky and a Dalmatian that would fight each other because they'd be jealous of each other. We
Yeah.
had to stick a baseball bat in their jaws to pry them loose.
Yeah.
Good.
That dog
We had
that
these 2 little bitty dogs, little mutts. They were brother and sister, didn't look like anything like each other, Katie and Max. Shoot, they would have helped the burglars cart stuff off. Here,
the
let me show
worst
you
dog
the
bite I got reading meters was an Irish setter, a bird dog. Man, he really.
That'd been more the case.
I've got a scar on my leg from that dog bite, and it's 'cause that teenage girl run outside to find out what the dog. I had the dog bluffed until she come out. Then he thought he was defending her, and he started lunging at me, and I kicked him 3 times in the mouth. The 3rd time I missed him, and he clamped his teeth around my leg, and those fangs punctured that way down into my leg. And then I grabbed his mouth to try to pry it open. He got me in the wrist, and I've got a scar from that. And I ran my hand down his throat and gagged him to the point he rolled over on his side. And I told the girl to hold the dog down till I get over the fence. By the time I hit the top of that fence, that dog missed my butt about that far. All I could see is teeth and hair.
That's it.
And I reached back there to see if I still had a seat in my pants. It was still there.
Yeah, or at least part of the patch.
I thought, my goodness, that's a close call. I still got my pants. I don't feel a hole back there. I just-
sure can.
Give that to Mary and let her get a little bit of it.
Yeah, you oughta just looking at the viewfinder there, man. Let it run, and you get some of
You're
it.
always behind the camera instead of in the
You
front
get some
of
of
it.
everybody. Oh my goodness. Oh, it's good to have humor though, fun.
Oh, sure. That's it. It'd be it'd be trouble we lived here without humor and laughter.
Yes, it would.
Well, you know what?
Awful place.
Every conversation,
I'm glad
I'm
he's
sorry.
easygoing.
I don't know you, Mr. Teal, but
Yes,
Uh,
yes, ma'am.
when my kids were growing up, every conversation had to have a fart or a turd in it.
To complete the conversation.
It did, didn't it, Becky? And I don't care. And it's a boy thing, I guess. I don't know. Anyway,
Yeah.
I was the only little girl.
I don't care how hard I tried to steer the topic away from it, it always went back there. So now my new husband, every day, he has to tell me how he has to go to the bathroom and drop a turd. So I was at work the other
This is
day.
gonna be an interesting video.
Family video.
So I was at work the other day and I sent him a text message because I was getting ready to go to lunch because I always call him at lunch and wake him up because he works nights. So I sent him a text message about 11:30 a couple days ago. I said, let's start this conversation early. Turd. And I
When somebody sees that video, they're gonna say, "Where'd you buy that Christy toy box?"
no. But anyway,
Christy toy box.
Oh, I think I have.
but anyway, I just thought that was funny. Yes, you have to have humor. And it seems like
Okay,
every
yeah,
conversation we
everybody
have goes to that subject.
That woman right up there.
Here you go,
she didn't
Daddy.
even-
Okay.
She had to be serious, my grandmother.
Yeah, oh,
And she
yeah.
was the funniest person that ever was, just talking seriously.
My grandmother would keep both of them and keep you in hysterics. They were both funny.
Tell him about that time she
What?
that thing that rolled around, that BM stuff, and you was telling her how it made gas. In the city, that septic tank or something.
Oh,
My brother was trying
I was
to
talking about
explain
that.
what he-
talking about the sewage plant, methane gas they burn, you know, at the sewer, the sewage, not sewage plants, but land disposal where they, you know, where they dump their landfills, yeah, and you'll see the fire burning and it's methane gas they're burning off.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just making a joke about that to my grandma, and she said, "What?" She didn't know what I was talking about for a minute.
She was funny.
But she was funny, and my grandma Popejoy was funny too.
Yeah.
I miss all of them.
Oh boy.
Those
yeah.
older people, they had some of the funniest stories.
Well, Miss Grissom
Yeah,
comes
she
out with some
did.
funny
Yeah.
things too, and it's just, you know,
Yeah.
knowing that she's real modest, you know.
Yeah.
She says things like, well, the other day the nurse come to see her and she said, "Hi, Miss Grissom, hi." She said, "Bull."
Bull.
And she said, "Oh, she doesn't understand what I'm saying." She said, "Hi." She said, "Bull."
Oh,
She said
right.
that 4 times.
You remember Mildred Cherry, don't you?
Yeah.
I've got some pictures we took of her. I'll show them to you.
Oh, okay.
We made them down there in Cedar Hills in South Dallas, out a little south of Oak Cliff. But I'm amazed at how well she looks to be 97 years old.
Yeah,
My
me
goodness.
too.
And
Is that Mike Grissom's mom you're taking care of?
Yeah,
What's he doing now?
taking care of her full time.
Oh.
That
Is
takes
he
every bit
retired
of
or
his
something?
time.
I guess that's enough
Well, he
video
never
for right now.
was really
for you.
working. He taught school for about 5 years.
Yeah, I remember that.
And the kids just, he couldn't tolerate them.
Uh-huh.
So he quit. He was the best music teacher anybody could.
He couldn't handle the disciplinary problems in high school. He'd try to
Remember
discipline,
him.
and the principal and
And he worked
superintendent
up
wouldn't
here-
back him up on it.
He worked at
Oh,
Tinkerfield
yeah.
2 years and lived up here with his aunt.
Yeah.
And he said he went to work at daylight and didn't see the sun, and then he came home after dark, and he said he got tired of that. So he went back to Wynnewood and taught piano lessons.
He's a good piano player too, boy. He
Oh,
could really.
can eat a piano up.
He had a master's degree from University of Oklahoma in music, and
And then he
All
writes
that.
books on the South. I can't even remember the name of them, but anyway.
Huh.
He said he need to bring some books up to a dental office up here, said those people
that should
in
be enough, shouldn't it?
the lobby, I mean, the
Gotta get
My
some
next one's
video
gonna be a
here.
Galaxy S4. They come out in April.
They do?
Yeah.
Oh,
so-
I heard
Wow.
they was. I heard that's coming out
Are they
putting
bigger
around
than the
April.
one-
A new one coming out, isn't
It's
it?
just so
New-
big. I don't like how big that is.
Yeah.
A new,
Mark's is big.
He
Is
has
it
an
Apple
S3,
putting
right?
it out?
And my friend Andrew
Well,
has the
there's-
S3. It's huge. She
There's-
loves it.
want
I don't know
to
which one you're talking about. The biggest
I'll
one.
try to
right
get a
now
little
is
more
the
video.
Oh, wait.
I'll make you
Galaxy.
this
The
for
Galaxy
this
is
too.
bigger. It's a tablet
The
phone.
Galaxy Note 2 is so big
It's also a
that you can put
phablet.
this entire phone in its case in the screen.
Oh, I
Yeah.
see, yeah.
But the Galaxy
Yeah, I'm
Galaxy
not
4,
sure.
4 is
S4?
going to be bigger than the S3 but smaller than the Note.
Oh,
And
uh-huh.
I know these specs don't mean anything
I
to you,
wonder
but
how
it's going
much
to
it's
have a
gonna
2
cost.
2 gig processor. I don't know.
Because I'm eligible for an upgrade now. I just have to save the money.
That's what we're doing. We're putting a little back to replace all our phones.
And we're going to go to Illinois in May for Becky's graduation.
Congratulations.
Great, yeah.
All these late kids getting their degrees.
You know what else though?
He went to OU and got his
Do what now?
degree.
She just
Right.
found out she got a full ride scholarship to Erickson Institute, but it's not going to be a PhD. It's just an endorsement thing.
It's a certificate
Hey.
program.
If you can, yeah, hey, if you don't have to pay for it, that's,
I'm trying to get
That's awesome.
excited about it. My boss is real excited about it. I mean, and when I told her, I hadn't actually decided I was going to go until I heard her reaction. And then I'm like, well, okay, I guess I'll see you in May.
Hey, go for it.
Go for it, yeah.
Yeah, boy.
heck
I
yeah.
asked the advisor, I'm like, think you could throw me an extra course, turn it into another master's degree, something. Can't do it.
Well,
That's too bad.
Yeah, oh well, it's supposed to be really, it's
It's
the
not-
best education I can get for this field, so, I mean, it's good. It's just hard and long, and honestly, if it were just a training that took 2 years, sign me up, but I got homework, and I gotta pay attention, and I got a job, so.
We need to have a gathering all at your house, Frank,
Yeah.
because I want to go see my mom's grave and I want to go see Mama and Papa's grave, but 80 miles is a long way to go for just stand there and look at a stone and say, hey, you know,
Yeah.
that's how I feel.
you know.
But I don't want to
But
invite
she-
myself to your house.
But
Well, Mom did, no, I'm
she
kidding.
works
I'm
all the
kidding.
time. We
Huh?
haven't even been
Just
able to go
come
see her
on
in months and months
Let me
because she
know
works all
when,
the
because
time.
I got 3 jobs.
Well, you
and I'm
need to pick
working
a time.
around different times.
We just
Monday,
walk in,
Wednesday,
get something out of our ice box,
Thursday,
change the
and
channel
then
on our TV.
Tuesday. I work Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Saturday. I'm off on Fridays.
Hmm.
Well, I could take a day off on Friday, but Marion may not be able to.
Mm-mm.
So
And one
far.
weekend a month I have to be on call and work out of my house. And with Cindy quitting, it's probably going to be twice a month now until they get somebody hired and trained.
Daddy wrote his own poem and had it put on his tombstone. It says, "Look up and down, you passers-by, as you are once was I, so prepare yourself for eternity." I remember that.
Yeah.
He was good. He liked to write poetry.
You ever seen that show?
Stuff.
Oh, I'm sorry, Dan. You mean
That's a, no, you go ahead, I'm through.
Duck Dynasty?
Uh-huh.
That's my son. He'll be here in a minute.
Oh, is Kevin?
Kevin's coming?
Good.
He's coming from. He's downtown right now.
Did they ever decide on the middle name, Jordan and Brandy, for the baby?
I don't think so.
Isn't it gonna be a
We don't
girl?
talk to him that often. Yeah, I seen Jordan a few days ago, and that's the first time I'd seen him in about a month. I mean,
Well, I'm working on one baby blanket for a coworker's grandson, but I need to hurry up and finish that so I can start one for the baby because they said they wanted brown, pink, and lime green.
Oh, they're having a girl?
Uh-huh.
I can't believe they're gonna have a girl.
Huh.
Not in our family.
yeah, I don't mind either. I'll take either. I'm just excited
As long
about
as
it.
they're healthy,
Why
that's
do
the main
they-
thing.
Well,
What
maybe
are
she'll
they
have
doing?
one of each.
As long as they're healthy.
That's what I told her, and she
Oh,
about
I like that name.
choked me. No,
She's the tiniest little thing. I don't even know how she could.
she just
carry
looked at
one.
me like, oh,
Yeah.
Who, Brandy?
yeah.
Oh, goodness.
Yeah, I
She's
said,
due
maybe
what?
you'll have one of
The
each.
end of
She said,
March?
Hmm.
She's due the end of March, right?
Yeah, I think so.
We
Yes.
gotta go for
I thought you were talking to her. I didn't realize you were talking to me.
I
That's all.
was, but I looked at you because she didn't know.
I'm sorry, I was in a
Maybe,
daze.
maybe
Sorry.
you'll share another birthday.
20.
I hope not.
What day in
I don't want to take from her birthday. You know what I'm saying? Birthdays don't mean that much to me. 26th, last I heard. My birthday's the 28th. I mean, you know, I feel for those people who have like their birthdays like on Christmas Eve.
Yeah, that I wouldn't like.
You know, it kind of takes away from their experience.
Yeah, well, Brooklyn's is the 14th and Gabe's is the 28th of December, so.
Yeah.
Chris and my birthday are only 9 days apart, but mine comes first, so I never have to worry about that.
Well, my cousin who has the exact same birthday as me, I hear she's not doing so well. I saw them pictures you sent. So,
Oh, yeah. Well,
Lee,
I don't know if Todd, your dad told you, but Lee called Steve and talked to him. And
Is she still in Germany or is she back in Singapore?
we don't know where she's at. She's on the plane traveling, and she told Steve that she goes from country to country. And she let Steve know that she was okay and that Kathy was exaggerating about it. And she goes to the doctor every 2 months and she's weighed and she's got a list of the things she's supposed to eat, and she's supposedly doing all that. And those pictures she said were made when she just got out of the hospital, but I don't know about that, because Kathy said they were during Christmas and his family sent them to her, where she was real thin. But she claimed that was the pictures that when she just got out of the hospital and had that biopsy and wasn't able to eat then.
she looks scary to me.
That's my phone, and I thought I left it at home.
Apparently not.
That's what happens
Apparently
when you
not.
first put a bunch of stuff in there. Especially
Yeah, I
if it's a
told her
dark
a while
You know
ago,
what?
I said,
I
that's not a
dropped. I
purse,
put
that's a
this
suitcase.
in my book bag when I was
know.
going through security today, and I didn't know that I put it in there, and I thought I lost it. I had 2 TSA agents calling around to look for it.
Well, it's
But
in
you
there
had it the whole
somewhere,
time?
right?
Yep. And it's so weird because I swear I dug in every pocket and I looked. I was like panic mode because I just got this a couple weeks ago.
I can't believe
And I
it.
finally told them, and she's like, if you take your other electronics out, we'll run your bag again, just make sure. And
Could
as
it
soon
be
as
in
I
that
did, I
side
looked
zipper
and there it
pocket?
was. I'm like, I swear God placed this in here himself.
Not there it
He's
is.
messing with me because it was not in there 20 seconds
You
ago.
found it.
Well,
I'm fixing to call it
I'll
again.
tell you, while I'm not a big fan of Apple, the company in general,
Oh, no.
there's 2 or 3 people online that really give me a hard time about it.
Oh,
And
no.
especially when I got one, you know, because like, oh, you hypocrite, blah, blah, blah. So I
Somebody
make a point to give them a hard time online, and now they've got to the point where they don't even respond anymore.
You don't have to answer it, Frankie.
And
Well, they just,
to me, their phones are more reasonably priced, but I would never, and I mean never,
I bet
would
you
I
they can't get
purchase an
anybody to
Apple
work.
computer. Them things are just, you could buy 3
Shoot.
PCs for the
What should
price
I
of
do?
one iMac. I just
I left
can't
a
see it.
message.
Yeah.
But the phones are more reasonably priced.
They are really expensive. We have an obnoxious amount of Apple products in our house, but
I
Chris's
guess that I'm
family,
gonna get 10 and then shut it
they've
off.
always
About
been.
a
His
minute
dad
and a
used to
half.
run some sort of electronics
Kevin will be
company.
here.
That's all right.
I'm
But
gonna say
for
something
me,
to Kevin too.
The way, I mean, and I literally am just justifying it because it's the only argument I have. For me, I was telling Mom earlier that I had a PC that lasted me 4 years, but it broke like 4 times in that time. And then when I bought my first MacBook, I had it for 4 years, and even when I got rid of it, I didn't really need to. I could have cleared up the memory and it would have been fine. But I never ever had to pay any service, never take it in or anything. So I felt like it sort of paid for itself. But if you know how to, keep your computers free of all of the stuff that can damage them, then by all means, I think a PC would be fine. But for someone like me who doesn't know that clicking those really cute shoes probably opens up some horrible virus computer, I think it's nice to have one that they typically don't have that
Oh, yeah.
support.
I'm not above formatting the hard drive.
I've had mine for 4 years and I've never had a problem with it except the time I kicked it off the table and broke the screen.
Man.
People talk about
Kicked it off the
PCs and
table.
they're so
I
prone to
knocked
crashing. I'm
into
like,
it.
what century are you living in? I haven't had the blue screen of death in 10 years. Like, what the heck are you talking about? I use Windows, and I've not had it crash on me in ages.
It's so funny though because I was so used to using
And I'm not
Mac,
getting a virus in
my
years.
personal Mac for so long, and when I got promoted, now I have a desk job, I have a PC, and I kind of had to reteach myself how to use it because I was just so used to using my own computer. I'm like, I don't even remember how to use Microsoft Word on a PC.
I equate Apple computers to the little kids with the little square, the little things you can stick the circle in the circle,
Oh,
and the
yeah.
square in there.
Yeah.
It's meant for people who don't know anything about the operation of the computer. You click a pretty yellow box, you click this box and it works, but you don't have a clue how it works on the inside.
Yeah.
That's me.
Which is better when it comes to the Android or the Apple? Oh, well, you know
Personal
that.
preference.
Personal preference.
Personal preference. If you don't have, I'm gonna tell you right now, if you're not really technically inclined on phones, I'd go with an Apple because they restrict on the customization. You're not gonna get yourself in any trouble by clicking on anything. But you know, if you're one of those type of people who messes with the settings and you don't have a clue what you're doing, you're like, oh my gosh, what did I click? Don't get an Android.
Chris jailbroke his last iPhone before he got the 5, and it was so. But the girl that I was working with was
Yeah.
from Chicago, and she said sacks instead of socks. Which, I mean, I say a lot of A's like that now, but I don't say sacks for socks.
Well, Ernie.
Or what about used guys?
That's New
Now in
Well, down
California,
here we
they say you
y'all.
guys, and we
You
say
guys.
y'all here.
Down here we say y'all, but up there in Illinois it was yins for Ewans.
Yeah.
Ewan.
I try to
I say
avoid
y'all.
both of
You do
those.
say you guys. What are you guys doing today?
Huh?
I say y'all, and it's weird to a lot of people up there.
To this day, my kids make fun of me for saying y'all
Why?
I don't make fun of you. I just
because
think
they don't
it's
say it
funny.
up there in Illinois. I lived in Illinois for 19 years.
What do
raising
you
my
guys
kids.
call pop here? Is it pop or soda?
It's Coke. It's
I call it
free.
soda, but everybody
It's a
else
Coke.
calls it Coke.
Oh yeah, that's right.
You want a
Everything
Coke?
is a
Okay,
Coke.
what kind of Coke? Oh, okay, Sprite.
In
you know?
Oklahoma, in Oklahoma,
right.
it's two questions. You want a Coke? And the next question is what kind? Because it's just everybody's. But since I
say
moved
all
out of
three.
Oklahoma for a while, I noticed that it sounded weird, so we picked up soda.
Yeah.
I like to say soda pop.
I
when
still
people
say
ask me
pop.
that.
Well, in the
Let's
Northeast,
go
they
to
call
give
it,
me a Coke.
in Boston and New England, they
No,
call it
feels
tonic.
good though.
Yes, Boston
Nobody
has
got
some weird
time for that.
accents.
Well, my friend was from Long Island, New York, in the Air
I love
Force,
Boston
and
accents.
he was
And
laughing
our
his head off
Wolverines come in.
because I was showing videos of people in overalls,
My older man
and he was
mentioned-
cracking up laughing. He said, "Is that the way you
He's like, going,
people dress
going
at
to the
home?"
screening
I
tonight,
said,
meeting
"Yeah."
Mark Wahlberg.
And then I
Like,
said,
don't call
mentioned
Rocky
toe
Mark and make out with
sacks,
us
and
for
he
me.
said, "What's a toe sack?" And I described it, and he said, "Oh, burlap bag."
That's on video.
I never heard them called burlap bag, but in New York they call them burlap bags, not toe sacks.
My funniest one is I never noticed till I moved
Yeah.
away from Oklahoma
I
and
don't know
then
what
came
year
back.
those are.
Yeah.
What do you call that thing in there in the bathroom that you sit on?
A tulip.
Toilet, that's what I call
Oh,
it.
you always.
Or commode.
You usually call it a toilet stool.
Yeah.
That's the
Toilet
first time I've
stool.
ever heard you say it with one word.
Oh,
I
I
never
just-
noticed it till I moved away and came
Or
back.
foot feet.
But everybody calls it a toilet stool here. And everything's broken here in Oklahoma. I'm fixing to do this, and I'm fixing to do that.
yeah, we're fixing to do this, fixing to do that, and everybody laughs at
I moved
us.
away and came
Well, Brenda,
back.
I got something to tell you later that's funny.
Okay. Well, he's always saying, I started to do so and so, and I said, but your starter was broke.
My dad used
'Cause
to
he
say,
didn't
"I'll
finish."
haul off and do this," or hogging my bumper.
Yeah. He said that one to me the other
Toilet
day, and
stool.
I cracked up.
Foot feet. Light bread. What the heck is light bread?
I know.
What's foot feet?
Gas
The
pedal.
You know what?
accelerator on your car.
You know how my,
Use
you know,
it in a sentence.
I
you know
mashed
how-
the foot feet.
Oh, it's not enough to say I pressed the pedal. I mashed it.
master foot feed.
Like when my dad's making a phone call, he don't say I pushed the buttons. No, I mashed the buttons.
Yeah,
I
Grandma
picture
did
mashed potatoes.
Yeah, man.
What's white bread?
And I don't even think
Light
anything
bread.
about it
Use it in
because
a
I'm used to
sentence.
talking that way.
Yeah.
I know, but it's
That's
not
what
just you,
Dad
Dad.
calls a loaf of bread.
Yeah.
White bread. He calls it light bread.
And
Light bread,
and
dark
for
bread.
hey,
Light bread.
Yeah.
and here's another one that you don't hear anywhere else but here. A fly will land on something, and
It'll light on it.
they'll say that fly lit on my bread. It didn't land on their bread; it lit on
I
it.
never heard that.
I never heard that till. I mean, you don't hear that anywhere else but Oklahoma.
Well, I never heard hogging my bumper until the other day when he said it. I laughed for 30 minutes.
You remember Underwood's, the nasty barbecue
what else
place?
Oh,
Yeah.
Hey, you
Dead
know what
flies
else you
fall
hear?
off signaling in your
Pig on the
barbecue.
Yep.
You know what
Fly
else
lid
you
in
hear
your
around
food?
here that you don't hear
What?
anywhere else?
What?
Hug my neck. Let me hug your neck.
Oh yeah.
What, I'm not going to hug the rest of you?
Yeah.
I forgot about that one. That's
Yeah.
true.
Paul
Kathy
used-
said that to me before.
I like catching my
She says a lot of funny stuff.
Well, she imitated Mama a lot.
Paul used to
Yeah.
say, neck hug. Somebody give me a neck hug, you know. Like
Neck
Kevin
hug.
gave me a neck hug or something like
Yeah, the
that.
last time we was down
That's
here
true.
to visit Mama before she got sick, the phone was ringing and she was answering. She was talking and there wasn't nobody there. She goes, "Huh? I must have mashed it twice." I cracked
You,
up laughing. I
you know
said,
how you know how my mom pronounced Omaha, Nebraska.
Omaha, Nebraska.
Omaha, Nebraska.
I remember that.
And I was-
Dynamite for dynamite.
Huh?
Dynamite for dynamite, and instead of saying fresh, she'd say frush.
Frost. And my grandma McCord used to call dynamite. It called it dynamite, not dynamite.
Well, her grandpa Connor can't say piano; it's piano.
He does.
Yeah.
I
Diana.
don't think I've ever heard him say that.
And instead of saying an ear of corn, she would say roasting ear, but it'd come out roasting ear.
Yeah, roasting there.
That's what
Yeah.
they used to call it.
Here's another one that I picked up living here in
Roast and ear.
Oklahoma. I was an adult before I realized it wasn't okra.
Yeah, I was
thought it was
22 years
okra.
old.
Because that's all I'd ever heard until I moved away.
I
Right, okay.
still thought that's what it
Yeah.
was because of you.
I was 22 years
Okra?
old in Kentucky,
I thought that was the way it was
walking
said.
in a grocery store, and I said, "Wait a minute,
And what?
that's not okra. It's supposed to be okra."
Or diabetes is diabetes.
Yeah.
Yeah, diabetes.
Wait, which one is it supposed to be?
I can't
Diabetes.
diabetes.
It's actually,
But being
I
around
think
that
it's-
as a kid, you
I
just
think it's a-
kind of, you just,
I think it's
you
a
know.
regional thing like pecans, pecans, pecans.
di- dialect.
New York, they
Yeah.
call them
Diabetes.
pecans, and down
And
here
you
they
ought not
call
to
them
be doing
pecans.
such a thing.
I know.
Instead of saying you ought not to do that, you ought not to be doing such as that.
What?
I don't say either. I say you shouldn't be doing that.
I heard a preacher, Kennedy Hagan, the dad. I heard him on the radio last night saying, "Why we ought not to be a saying that kind of stuff."
And my grandma McCord, you know how she said vulgar? Vulgary.
Yeah, I remember that. Quit talking vulgar.
She said that's vulgary, talking about vulgar.
When was Lawrence Welk popular?
When I was a kid. Before
60s,
then.
60s, and
Because
70s.
Chris Grant
Oh,
makes us watch that every time we're
His
there.
his shows
We
came
actually
on
called-
back in
we
the
actually called James
70s and
Black.
80s.
Yeah.
Yeah, Lawrence Welk because it's what
Uh,
Graham calls it because she said Lawrence Welk used to go and a one and a two, so that's
Did you
what
hear
we.
what she just said?
So that's what we call when the dog goes poop and pee outside. We call it a Lawrence Welk.
Yeah, he'd always start at a 1 and a
Yeah.
2 and a 3, like he's having a convulsion or
And
something.
then you got the bubbles floating around.
And then he'd blow the champagne bubbles out.
Yeah.
Oh god.
Oh,
And they're all
Christ.
doing
I
this.
guess it's a nice way to call it, but yep.
Yes, Peppo used to do that.
Yeah.
That's Peppa.
He used to slap his hands and bounce them off when he'd be clapping his
I don't
hands.
know.
And then he'd go
That's
to
so busy
church.
trying to tune it out.
Yeah.
He'd be in church with his pocket knife up like this, cleaning his nails. He wouldn't do it like down like this, like most people. He'd be up like this.
In the light.
He's got to be able to see it.
And I go up to my granddad
In church.
McCord's house, and he'd be eating breakfast and he's using his pocket knife to eat with.
Oh, I'm sorry, ma'am. I didn't mean to drop that in your hair.
What are
And
you
I-
dropping?
And I remember
Nail
Papa's,
clippings.
I remember Papa's funeral.
I'm kidding.
They asked if anybody had anything to say about him. Nobody would say nothing. So I got up there and I'm talking about Papa. And I'm telling all the funny stuff he did. The church people was on, if you're standing at the pulpit, okay, the church people were on the right. And the family was on the left. And the church people was like, and the family was rolling laughing. Because I was telling about some of the stuff. And I called him a crotchety old coot. In the church. And he was. And the family's laughing their heads off in the church like, oh.
Everybody was laughing because we knew how my dad was. That's
That's probably how it was for Granny's funeral.
But just the dialect.
You didn't know how much you'd missed, did you, Becky?
Oh, yeah.
No, she didn't know how thankful she was that she missed it.
When we went on our
Could be,
senior
could be.
trip, they brought me something. I thought it was cream of wheat, and I started pouring sugar on it and cream, and that guy says, "You putting that on grits?" I said, "That's cream of wheat, isn't it?" He just died laughing. He says, "Not in the South. Grits are different than cream of wheat."
Grits. I mean, are wheat, ground up wheat. Grits are ground up hominy, and that's the nastiest stuff.
gross.
Time out. I've
But in the
never
South, that's a
realized
serving
that you say
time.
wheat.
You know what though? You know what though?
You say a. You
Grits.
say the.
It don't matter what they're made out of. They're just nasty.
Yeah,
It's the
I
little
agree.
white part
I
of
went-
the hominy that, just like on the white piece of corn,
Wait, what's hominy?
You ain't gonna
It's
get all
vegetables,
technical.
looks kinda like corn.
It's like
corn's
kernel.
swelled up with like nasty stuff.
It's corn with a shell.
I worked in
Corn
a
nuts.
really like
Corn nuts, I
Latino popular
Hominy is
neighborhood, and
corn,
they use
isn't
that a lot. But I
Yeah,
Yes, I
yeah,
don't
it's
eat
corn.
hominy. Wait,
Hominy is undried
They
corn
use a
nuts.
lot of
You know corn nuts?
garbanzo
I love
beans.
corn nuts.
Yes,
What's another
Corn
word
nuts
for
are nothing but
garbanzo beans?
Garbanzo
smelly
beans?
shoes.
Chickpeas?
Corn nuts
Chickpeas,
do
that's
smell horrible,
Have
but
you
they
ever been-
taste great.
Have you ever been in a room with someone who's eating corn nuts? You're thinking, who took their shoes off? It's the first thing
Every
that
time
comes
I
up.
buy them, I'm like, I know someone in here probably thinks I smell horrible, but these taste so good.
Keyword, wash your feet.
Me and a co. There are
Fritos. I'm sorry, go ahead.
in my office. There are 4 women and 1 man, because there's the boss, Lisa, Kim, the dispatcher, me, then Cindy, who's getting ready to quit, and then poor old Wendell. We're all CSRs, okay?
Oh, Wendell.
Cindy had gone to lunch. Lisa had gone to lunch. So there was just me and Kim of the women. I had to go to the bathroom the other day, and I come out of the bathroom, I got on my computer, and I got on my Google, and I typed a Google to Kim. I said, good Lord, woman, next time you leave a dead carcass in that toilet, would you please post a hazmat sign?
Oh man, that's not good.
She said, I'm sorry, it was one of those emergency things. And then she cracks up laughing. She says, there's nobody to blame but you and me, because Lisa and Cindy's gone.
So it was obvious who did it?
Yeah.
Oh man, I'd be going down to the local truck stop.
And John, one of our tech support guys, his desk is back there. He goes, every time somebody goes in that bathroom, all I smell is...
Oh, it's one bathroom for men and women?
No, there's one in each, but his desk is right next to him.
Oh,
When I
Kevin.
was teaching in Champaign, the bathroom vent went right into my classroom closet, and I
Oh
was
my
like,
gosh.
I'm taking
Oh
lunch
my
break
gosh.
at 12:30 because every day like clockwork, somebody's dropping a burrito bomb, and I'm not gonna be here for the episode. I got to go.
Burrito Bob. I like that one.
It was so nasty
A
because
big
you
mushroom.
really did
Oh,
it too. There were only so many people working that building, and I saw who walked in and out of that bathroom.
Down there at Walmart when I worked there, that was, somebody dropped a bomb in there, and I thought he was a part of a tree stump. It was big.
You remember Becky's dog, Katie?
Uh,
Becky
Yeah.
had this dog, Katie. She's a little bitty dog, but she could drop some humongous turds.
she
David, my oldest son,
Yeah.
David.
I don't recall that.
David calls Anthony in the middle of the night to come look at the size of this turd. Anthony, you've got to come marvel at the size of this turd. Katie did that. It
Could
was
go in
that
the
big.
Guinness Book of Records.
Don't you wish you had one of these?
No.
He could have saved a trip and she could have just sent it to him.
Yeah.
I think
this day-
God in heaven that David did not have a camera to document his life growing up, because I don't need to know what. he
Kind of like
did
your
every
daughter
step
said,
of the
Mother,
way.
that's more information than I need to
Yeah.
know.
Was he bad about doing that, just describing every little detail?
Was would imply that he doesn't do it anymore.
He is. I keep telling
okay.
people that there is no way you can describe David. You just have to experience him. You just can't describe him. He is 33 years old. To this day, when he comes to my house, he has to go straight to the bathroom. And every time he leaves, there's a brown streak up the seat.
Oh.
When David's coming, I go buy Clorox wipes. I just know. I just know. And I have done everything but come right out and say, David, when you wipe your ass, if that toilet paper ain't clean, wipe it again.
Is there not a mirror in there? You can just
He must have good brake pads and skid marks.
brake pads.
Do you know what Ernie told Anthony one time?
You ever think of turds?
Good brake
as
job.
brake pads? Well,
Oh,
sit on the toilet, brake pads are not something that comes to mind.
No, no. Skid marks does, but you know. Anyway, so
That's funny.
oh,
we had bad plumbing in Illinois.
Oh, my.
Really bad plumbing, and it was always stopping
Was
up
it the
and running
house or
into
the person that
bathtub.
had the bad plumbing?
Huh, the house.
Oh.
Well, that's negotiable. But anyway, Anthony would always plug up the toilet. And he would use these humongous wads to wipe his butt. I'm like, Anthony, you don't need that much. Ernie comes in one day, he says, Anthony, good Lord. Either flush it halfway through or cut it in half. So I was working third shift at this time, and I come home.
oh, man.
I come home from work in the
Y'all
morning.
getting some indoctrination?
I come home one morning and my electric knife is laying on the bathroom counter.
Oh my gosh.
It had mud all over it. Anthony had put mud all over my electric knife, and he goes, he wrote, you know what a dry erase board is?
I didn't
You know
know
what a
he
dry
said that.
erase board is?
Yeah.
The white chalkboards you can write on and erase them. Okay,
Yeah.
I had one of them in the kitchen. Nobody ever looked at it. So
Yeah.
I took my dry erase markers and I started writing people notes on the bathroom mirror because everybody looks in the bathroom mirror, right? You know?
Yeah.
So anyway, Anthony did this. He took the dry erase marker and he wrote on the mirror, "Dad, I did what you said. I cut it in half. Sorry, Mom."
I never knew he did that. That's so random.
He left my electric knife laying on the bathroom counter with mud on it that looked like he'd cut his turd in half.
To try to intimidate.
Took a picture of that.
I came home and I looked
gosh.
at that and I'm like,
Like it wouldn't move.
I should be mad, but that's too funny.
That would have been something to get on a picture, get a picture of.
I know. I should have been mad, but that was just too hilarious.
That's better than the litter box,
Cake.
yeah, litter box cake.
Have you ever seen a litter box cake, guys?
Huh?
Have you ever seen a litter box cake?
Is that when the
Oh, the
cat
turd?
tickles?
It's a cake that looks like a litter box. And they
You ever seen those?
Oh,
they soften,
yes.
They
And-
soften Tootsie Rolls and lay them on top of it to look like cat
Yeah, someone
turds.
made that for my work once. It tasted good.
Yeah.
But it was nasty.
I wouldn't want to eat any of it.
It's just a German chocolate
Yeah,
cake with green food coloring in it,
Yeah.
and it makes the coconut and the
coconut,
frosting
yeah,
look like litter box. And then you lay soft Tootsie Rolls and bend them on there. It looks like cat turds. And you make it in a clean litter box.
Good night.
And you take a cat scoop to cut the cake
A
with.
clean one that's
Oh
never
my
been
God.
used.
Yeah, well, this
Yeah, we
My
had to scoop it on
goodness.
up. And
Well,
put it
I've never seen that. I've never seen that before.
Shucks.
bring a picture one up on your phone,
That's
buddy.
what I was looking for. You know me too well, Marion.
Yeah, I do.
I was
Just
looking-
go on Google and look up kitty litter
Here's your
cake.
iPhone right there. That's what I'm talking about.
Oh, I was looking at litter box cake.
Kitty
Here-
litter cake.
Images. Here we go.
Get the note.
It's just a cake.
It's actually a real cake,
My
but
goodness.
they make it, and they always have to throw one of those Tootsie Rolls on the side.
Yeah, to make it look like a cat.
Shoot, I'm
Make
not
it
even
look
right.
like a cat in the box.
I know.
Look, Daddy,
Bless me.
that's an actual cake.
Good.
And it looks like a litter box, don't it?
And look, they even put a Tootsie Roll on the side where it looked like the cat missed.
Oh my goodness. I didn't know there was such a
Oh
thing.
my gosh.
Kids love them. They think they're great. Grown-ups think
I've never
that's
heard of
nasty,
them
but kids
before.
think they're hilarious.
Yeah,
Now I like
do
a German
too.
chocolate
Yeah.
cake with German chocolate icing, but I don't know about this.
Well, they put green and blue food coloring in it to make it look like cat litter, you
Yeah.
know?
Like the real
Yeah.
thing.
I can't even find it. Point 19.
So Becky, now I know
Yeah,
what you
it's
guys
still
had for
faster
dinner
than
when you went
nothing.
home. Your mom feed you stuff like that?
If she did, I blocked it out. That's my happy place.
Oh, I got my orders.
bet.
I got my orders. She and I were chatting on Google Talk the other day. I was at work. I have my orders. She said, I want Diet Coke, Brahms ice cream, Sonic,
Hamburgers.
yeah, and hamburgers, Sonic. I want you to make tacos, caramel popcorn, and fudge, and I want Monocle's pizza.
You don't have Sonic up there?
Not
Yeah.
as far north as
Not
I
in
am.
Chicago,
Oh, I
but
was
they got
gonna
them
They
in
have it in
Mattoon and
Champagne.
Champagne.
But
Oh.
I've been to Champagne.
I think they might have it in the suburbs, but I don't know.
Anyway,
Oh, okay.
You've been to Champagne?
so I said I could help you with everything but the monocles, because we don't have
We're
monocles down
from
here. I
like
said,
30
but
minutes
you know,
out there.
whenever I come up in May to
but I
your
live
graduation,
there
I can swing by
before I moved to
Tuscola and
Chicago.
grab one and bring it up for you.
Chicago's
Monocle's
on the
pizza.
side of the state, isn't it?
Cool.
All the way in the north, yeah.
I can help you with
Champagne's right in
everything
the
but
middle.
monocles.
And I don't think Brahms goes much past about.
Brahms only in like 2 states, isn't
Sure,
it?
no,
No.
They're in
north-
Missouri.
The most northern one, the northernmost one is Columbus, Missouri. I've been there.
Okay, now I knew they
Columbus,
had one in
Missouri.
Joplin. I didn't know past that.
They got one in Columbus. That's the
Can't
furthest
not
north
be
they
a
go.
Bulls fan.
And I know they've got them in
That's true.
Texas.
I'm a Bulls fan.
And I know they've got them in Kansas,
I went
but I don't
to
think
see
they've got them
Coldplay
in New
at the
Mexico.
United Center, and we had floor
They're
seats,
only
and
in
I was
Texas,
like,
Oklahoma,
I
Kansas,
feel
and
like
Missouri.
Michael Jordan, because
And they're based
I don't
out
know,
of
he's
Tuttle,
right
right
here.
over here.
He stood on the floor that I was
southwest
standing
side of
on.
Yes.
I don't care about this concert right now. I'm just like
Well,
in awe of the
yes.
United Center and all of these things. Everywhere.
Every Sunday after church, we have to go to Brahms.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
And every night after work, my husband has to sit in the bed with a bucket of Brahms English toffee ice cream.
That is delicious. So
He
you
has
think
to
he'd
have his
borrow
ice cream before
Chris
he goes
and
to
I
bed.
had Brahms when we were in Wichita in September.
Oh,
He
shit.
never
Next
had
day
it.
they'll
They'll catch up
What
with
do you
him.
think?
I know. He must do a lot of moving. Or he must keep busy all the
They
time.
have sprinkle
Well,
fries, right?
Well, his
Yeah.
job, I think, is real physical.
He's
too.
gained 5 pounds.
Well, marriage does that to you.
He is up
Oh
It
yeah.
does. Hey, you
to,
wouldn't
when you start
believe
eating regular.
it. Yeah, well,
The
because
better the wife, the more you gain.
It's a
We must
reality.
have
or
a
it was
dang
with
good
me.
life then,
I
mustn't we?
We
Hey,
must
I went
have,
around
yeah.
145 pounds
Have
when we
trouble
got
losing
married.
weight.
I weighed 145 pounds when we got married, and it's the most I'd ever weighed my whole life. And then within a year after I got married, I gained easily 25 pounds. And since then, my car leans when I drive down the road.
Your trajectory is.
Yeah, the
That's
tires.
what I'm starting now.
My tires wear uneven. Whatever side I'm sitting on, that's where the tires wear.
I'm gonna tell Chris that. Maybe he won't be so.
Wonder
So you're riding
why.
on two wheels and Sunday's up in the air.
Yeah.
I wonder why
I have to
everything
lean over
that
one
you
side.
love is
Looks like I'm
bad
giving
for
her-
you.
Yeah.
It looks like I'm giving her kiss all the time because to keep the car even, I have to lean over in her direction.
Well, you know, when I first met him, he was a size 29 in the waist. Now he's up to a 32.
I wish I was still a
Please.
30.
I was a 30
So
when
do
Sunday and I got married. Now I'm like, what, a 67?
I like that semi card that
When
says.
the
I
highway
wish I
patrol
were
pushed you over and
one of
asked you,
the
"Do you have an
like,
uninflated,
I wish I were as skinny as I
uninflated
was
tire?" And he
when I
said,
thought I
"No,
was fat
no,
or
I've got an
something like that. Like,
overinflated
when you were younger,
individual."
Something to that effect. I'm like, God,
I know it. Shocks are giving out on one side of the car.
Yeah. Well, I'm
Oh,
gonna shut
Oh,
this off.
goodness.
That's
I want
pretty
to go to
good.
Chicago.
Pretty good.
Just a vacation.
Yeah, I got 20 minutes.